four, three, two. Oh, yeah. My mic sounds right. Check one. I need the Sprite with the ice. Check two. Listen, listen.
I'm
Are you
listening.
listening? It's your boy Chris Kennard. I'm with good old Los. Haystack West, episode 4. Haystack hates hip hop, real hip hop. Good old
I don't.
Los.
I love it, but we'll go on with the trend of the title.
My good man, how are you today? It has been too long.
Man, I got nothing, to be honest. I it's been like a regular weekend in isolation. I've needed it.
Oh, good.
I've been tired, exhausted, so it's been pretty chill.
One of my
Nothing out of the ordinary happened. Oh,
Oh,
I would like to harp a moment
have a moment.
on last night's boxing bout.
Oh. All I want to say, without incriminating myself, is that I've been doing this thing on TikTok where I post once a day for the entire year, and usually I'll scroll for a little bit, see what's happening on my feed, and like out of like 30 posts, at least 15 of those posts. No, listen, at least 15 of the 30 posts were people bootlegging the match, and I'm like, yo, that's so crazy. But go on. Wait for it.
All right, we're back.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You were all right. Yeah. So Gervonta Davis.
I know him.
Ryan Garcia. Here's my thing, right?
Go ahead.
As a kid that was born in the foot of the 90s.
91 to be precise, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm like a year after you.
I grew up on like my parents would take me and the boys to our uncle's house, my dad's older brother. And he would have like, basically like a little, not a cookout, but they have hot dogs and pork and beans and all types of ill stuff, like an assortment of stuff. And in the basement, he had ordered whatever boxing match was up that
pay-per-view. Oh, let's go.
Pay-per-view. 8 times out of 10, it was a Tyson fight. However, while Tyson had that incarcerated sabbatical, we also were able to witness the likes of George Foreman's late era.
Wow.
Hagler and Hearns, and that wasn't even heavyweight. They just fought like heavyweights. And so on and so forth. And so I grew up on the concept, I guess, that fights ended when somebody was knocked out for the 10 count. So that's what I'm spoiled by, pretty much. I don't like when boxing matches go to decisions, because when you fight somebody, you don't let judges decide. You put them away. That's just my mentality on it. So that's pretty much what I grew up on. And like nowadays, a lot of these matches go the distance, and it ends in a split decision that may or may not be controversial. And I'm like, you see, if somebody got knocked the fuck out back in the day,
no contest, you would just know.
Exactly. Back in the day when Jack Johnson was champion, they go like 30 rounds. As many rounds need to happen until somebody did not get up for 10. I don't know. Maybe they need to bring that back. But at any rate, that Davis and Garcia fight restored the feeling.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Cause like I have a secret to tell you after the stream. So like I on purpose I was not watching the fight, and cause uh let's just say I had a personal stake in Davis, and I'm like, dang, I'm not looking forward to the day till like he breaks the streak. It's just gonna suck, you know. And so I keep on seeing like the various just like stream of the fight, but and then like I make my daily post, I keep scrolling, and I see, oh, they came to a decision. And I'm like, but it wasn't clear like who was the victor. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed. Hop on Twitter the next morning. I see the picture of homeboy like taking a knee, no Kaepernick. And I'm like, oh shit.
Brother,
Look at
did you
that
see the
guy.
video?
No, I didn't see the actual shot. I didn't see the shot. And what I know to be true is when I go to work in the next couple of days, I'm gonna talk to the guys like, hey, how was the fight? And they'll be like, yo, bro, look at this clip, bro. And I'll be like, yeah, and shit.
Hey, yo, look, man. The first round was just like, a bunch of pecking and jabbing, filling each other out. All right, I'll let him have it. It's the first round. You got to fill out
I'll
your
allow
opponent.
it.
You know what I'm saying? And then the second round came, and maybe close to the end of it, Davis caught Garcia with a quick right. Like he just walked into that jump. Bang! Knocked his ass down. But
Damn.
Garcia popped back up. Right? So once he popped back up, I'm like, all right, well, we got a knockdown. So I'm a bit satisfied for now.
That's what you wanted to
But
see.
exactly. That's what I like to see. Man, we get to like the 7th, 8th round.
Fuck.
And this match was getting good too. Like I'm like, yo, this may end up going a distance. I may be pissed, but at least I got to see a knockdown.
Sure.
And then it was like, you ever seen, those animes where it's two samurais fighting and they have that like final blow moment and then they're just both standing and
Yeah.
then
After they
the
like do
audience
the
is like, which
swing.
one falls?
Yeah.
Yeah, which one falls first? All
Yeah.
right. So it was Ryan Garcia's like right to Davis's head
I saw that's the picture that I saw.
versus Davis's left uppercut to Ryan Garcia's liver.
Oh, that's where he got hit. Fuck.
You feel me?
Oh my god.
And your man's immediately turned into the Windows shutdown jingle.
That explains why I took a knee. Okay. Say no. Say no
Exactly.
more.
Like he took that
Say
shot to the
no
liver.
more.
And then like when he took the shot, he recoiled a little bit, backed up, and was getting ready like to like fight back, and then just drop.
Fuck, dude.
And that was it.
Man.
I laughed hysterically. Because listen, man, here's the thing. As a sports spectator, I understand that I do not have the athleticism, the physicality, the physique, the wherewithal of an athlete, right? So I can't like 100% be like, I would have done this or I would have done that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
understand that? Sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
I
I
feel the same
growing to
way.
understand that. There are a lot of people out there that don't.
Hate
And,
those people.
Buddy, Juan's one of those people.
No comment on one.
So
He's threatened my life before.
Jesus. So we so my thing is, right, I know that a shot to the liver from a regular person will fuck you up.
1000%.
It's just one of those like body dilapidating shots. Now you add the fact that there was a motherfucker that's been training not only all his life, before that match, and you take a shot from that motherfucker, no matter how much training you've done, in defense of that, a liver shot's a fucking liver shot, bro. You're
1,000%.
crumbling. That's that on that. And so mugs were like, this match is a fix. And I'm like, all right, you take a shot to the liver. See how that works out for you. There's like a possibility of broken ribs too when he took that. Just by like that shit landed plush and then like slid off his body.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? Like he landed that joint and that joint connected. You can see the waves in his body.
Oh, from the impact.
From the shot. And then like when Davis, hit him, it like grazed off the like back of his ribs afterwards. So that's why people will claim it's a fix, but nah, a liver shot's a fucking liver shot, bro.
I have one thing. I have one thing to say.
Hurt.
I have one thing to say.
What?
So one of like the YouTubers I follow went to the Creator Clash this year. I had no idea what the fuck that was. So I watched her review. Apparently it's just like this YouTuber boxing a mat spectator thingamabobber for charity. And so it's regular motherfuckers duking it out, not even for any prize money. And one of the matches was Harley from Epic Mealtime versus John Morrison. And man's got bodied so hard that like when he hit the mat, he rolled out of the ring.
That's fucking hilarious.
I gotta find the clip and send it to you. And it's just like,
I've seen
listen, like these
like that though.
I have never seen something like that. And I'm like, maybe, and it's like it's not for clout or glory. So maybe he played it up for the camera, but it's like, man, this man was like really like training to like beat people up for a reason. And I'm like, son, I don't want to get punched in the face. And it's just like, they're really just like,
before we get into
no joke.
Before we get into it, I'm gonna tell you a knockout story that I've seen before. Right?
Tell me.
I forgot exactly who was fighting, but it was some like little like welterweight bout.
Sure.
And so it's like the 12th round.
That's a long match.
And maybe about a good 25, 30 seconds left in the bout. And they just jabbing each other, like kind of like getting the last of the points or whatever. It's maybe 15 seconds left. And one of the dudes just starts celebrating. Right? So he bolts off. He starts raising his arms in victory. He hops up on the ropes in the corner, and the opponent just came out of nowhere. Bang!
The bell did not ring, sir.
Oh, but he got his bell rung before that bell rung. Because your man said beep and flipped over out of the ring, boys. Oh man, I'll never forget that shit. But let's get the chop in this fable.
Yeah. One additional thing I'm gonna send you after our show. On my burner account where I'm posting once a day on TikTok, I'm getting all like the wrestling content, which I love because I'm fully back in the universe thanks to you. And I always love seeing just like the matches from the East, like the Japanese wrestlers, because like they'd be really squabbling in that ring. And these two cats, I don't know who it was, but like one of the competitors, he was really just getting greasy with these hits. And like, they're smacking on one another, like kicks, pow, boom, bang. At one point, dude grabs the other cat and headbutts him full strength. And everyone's in the room was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And like, dude's just like, and like he starts to bleed from his temple. And the commentators like, did you hear that? Did you hear that sound? And like go to the comments, it's like, yeah, dude almost died after the match. And I'm like, whoa.
That's fucking hardcore.
Just the head trauma alone, like his guy on the ground is just crumpled. Like he's already just like taking like a beating of a lifetime. But his opponent's just like And it wasn't like the old heads like we love, you know what I'm saying? Definitely like these
Right.
two youngsters just like putting on like the performance of their careers. And dude's just like, I've had enough. Come over here. Boink.
I want to pretty much be the Bomani Jones of wrestling analysis.
No,
And
seriously.
when I
I
when I
definitely
when I get the
ooh
podcast
wee.
I've been running, I want to do like, weekly guest hosting, or I guess you could say like interviews or something like that. Like I'll probably do 3 a week, and one would be, just a regular episode, and then the second would be an interview where I uh, bring in somebody different once a week, and then
Yeah.
Fridays I just have a co-host. I would not mind you being, if not the co-host for Fridays, the one of the like correspondents on Wednesdays to bring me in, stuff from overseas in Japan and such. Cause that's looking like your bag right now. Like you're really into that more than
No,
you're
and it's
into
just like
WWE or
it's
anything.
it's because I have no one else that really like will just like we'll sit and watch like did you see that shit because like I know it's an older match which is like I think it's why these cats are being able to like just put up the content without getting it flagged by like the respective companies and such
Yeah.
because I remember I hit y'all up about one of the more recent matches over there in the East about like someone getting like a nasty receipt. And then as soon as I tried to send it to y'all, it was already in like the Twitter feeds because it happened like the night previous. And I'm like, this shit is bonkers. Like, quick shout out to Mercedes Money for her like Eddie Guerrero what's it called tribute outfit for one of her more recent matches. Like just and like with the rate that like WWE is putting up old Eddie matches, it's so interesting like to see the man perform. Before I got to know him as like the cat who came out in the lowrider, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
who he was prior to just like the king of like the mic is just so interesting because like he looks so just like pissed off all the time
Yeah.
in the ring, and like I fully just like bought into him, just like wanted to rip Ray's head off, like when they were much younger, like during like the Halloween Havoc era of their careers. And I'm like, bro, like they were really getting to work in that ring, bro. And as a aspiring slash failed actor, I love that. I wish I'd like spent more time in like with stage combat because like I think that is a true just like storytelling device that is
Yeah.
underutilized in today's entertainment. Like I know we love like Marvel movies, we love John Wick, but like nah, just like the idea of just like telling a story with no words, them just like really just like getting into the violence. I'm like, this is what I love the most. Like
The
also,
violence telling you the rest of the story.
yes, bro. And like I just like see and like there's this one commentator from like the golden black and gold era from NXT, and he was calling like a Gargano match, and I'm like, yo, this guy's like is the king. Like just seeing this guy get knocked around, he's like, nah, I'm gonna get back up though. I ain't done yet. Yes, bro. That is the shit I live for. In the words of that fool LL, Mama said, knock you out.
That's why I love wrestling, bud.
Everything is wrestling, as you've told me before. I believe it.
Everything is wrestling.
Not today, though. Today, everything is hip hop. Let's talk about these fucking hip hop songs, huh?
Die for this
For
shit.
those
I rolled up my
for
motherfucking
those who
jeans
don't know,
leg.
for those who do not know, it is episode 4. Haystack hates your music, and this week he hates hip hop. Specifically, the hip hop songs that I selected for him. Usually, I'll be coming to him for authorization and verification, and sometimes condensation. But today, he came to me. For those who do not know, like this will be the first of 6 times we're doing this for this genre specifically. This week I try to focus on just like real spitters, people who can rap, who can write out a verse. I love telling the story of how when Lincoln Park, God rest Chester Bennington, they like, yo, they got Rakim to come do a verse for them. He came to the studio, heard the beat, wrote out his verse, performed the verse, Irish goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Just like literally left into the shadows. Like, damn, that guy was cool as fuck. And I'm like, real spitters. You know what I'm saying? We're really gonna like just like write a rap and like perform the rap. So like real spitters today. I want to focus on women who rap. Another week, 1 week I want good old Los to recommend me 4 songs. I want to focus on some new school cats who are just I feel like leading, who are just like bringing the genre to the next big thing. I want to focus on like like UK artists, like grime rappers, or just regular rappers who are just over there but not yet over here. Who knows how that's going to work out? And also want to focus on international rappers, like folks who really just love the culture and like just haven't had a chance to like just be in the mix without like sacrificing what makes them special. Because one of the more recent just like progressive leftist like video essays I watched was a mentioned MC Jin, how prominent he was featured on 106 in Park, but once like he got a chance to like put out a record, it was way too cheesy and like not what we actually like enjoyed his work for and things of that nature. I remember
That
like
really
the Higher Brothers from China
disappointed me.
were like for popping for a moment, but for me, I couldn't get past the fact that like a couple of the brothers had braids, and I'm like, hey man, why they got braids? I don't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see a cat like hop on the mic, spit a hot track, say thanks, and hop off the stage, bro. No stuff and fluff. Leave that for the wrestlers. Los.
I'm a little ashamed of myself that I still remember the bridge to learn Chinese.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'd never heard that song before, and like, dude played a clip of that song, and I'm like, God damn, bro. Damn. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Where's my buzzer? I don't have my buzzer, but yeah, there it is.
Problematic buzzer.
I like them in Too Fast Too Furious though, for what it's worth.
Man, that movie's fucking amazing.
He should have taken the acting route. He would have done something there.
Come on now. So today's episode 4, Haystack Hate Your Music. We have Saba with Prom King, Odyssey, Belong to the World, Token, Dentures, and Denzel Curry and JID with Bruh, the remix. Los, you have the floor.
Yes. So yes, let's start with Saba's Prom King. Prom slash
Get the
King.
tears ready, by the way, folks. Get the tissues ready. If you listen to that song, please get the tears and the tissues ready. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics on Genius because I definitely want to mention my favorite part of that song.
All right, so I didn't make notes on that actual lyrics or anything like that. However,
Fine.
I started out by saying, yes, sir, my arena, let's get down.
No, for real. Yes, you already know what it is.
So I said, I like his flow in his song. That's a good 10 syllables a bar when he's not down timing for effect.
Yeah.
This is quite the sad black coming of age story. I went to prom with one of my childhood sisters. That was quite a night that picked up a bit after I dropped the homegirl off. I'm not going to tell you about that night.
That's all right. Ain't none of my business.
I'll tell you that I went to prom with one of my childhood sisters. We went to the after prom that the school provided next door. I took her home. I didn't go home.
Well,
at any rate.
Anywho.
Double track. I love a good double track, but both sides got to be good. Think Earl Sweatshirt's Quest and Power, not Wiz Khalifa's Karate and Never Hesitate. Not a fan of karate. Love Never Hesitate. Shit. Am I still there?
You're still there. I'm with you. Go ahead.
All right, good. Because I thought I like cut off of you. Like, yeah. Chicago is a terrible place to try to grow up in poverty. That's my analysis on that. But overall, 6 out of 10. Good song. I wouldn't listen to it leisurely, but it's a solid track nonetheless. The song plays into the art of storytelling and hip hop while using the poetic devices and usage of the beat to beat it to your advantage. Much like the style that built this genre brick by brick.
So I have to give a big shout out to there's this one like YouTube dude I used to listen to all the time. And like he covered this song when it came out back in when did this album drop? Care for Me came out in 2018, and so he was doing like a 2018 roundup, and he just like was singing this song's praises. Sorry, I live in Philly, and it's warm out, so you know what that means. Y'all heard that, right?
Tough scene.
Listen, man, I'm all for like the biker boys. I don't care what nobody's saying. I just want to see no one taking a nasty bump. That's all I care about. Damn, it's gonna kill me if I don't know what dude's name is. He's one of like those. Yeah, it was Sean C. I have to shout out Sean C. SHAWNCEE. Like, watched his videos a lot at the time for a while, and so he's like, "Yo, like this song's crazy. Bet I'm gonna add it." And so whenever folks like, "Oh, I don't keep up with rap," I'm like, "Check this song out, please." Like, because it was this song and like Book of Soul that I make people listen to. Because I'm like, you can't talk shit about new school rap when you hear songs like this, because that something like even on Twitter, someone I didn't know was like, "Oh, like a really good rap song is just like it's like reading Shakespeare." You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
Bingo.
One of the guys I love is Cole Kushner, who does the Dissect podcast on Spotify, and he'll just like pick an album and he'll just like peel back the layers for you. So you're like, oh, like this is why this is such a good album. And his most current season of the show, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna pick some of my favorite songs. So y'all can see it's like this rap shit is no joke. And so far he's covered one of the new school J. Cole songs. He's covered 6 Foot 7 Foot by Wayne and Nostalgia by Kendrick and Push. And he's like, this is one of the greatest songs ever made by human beings. And you'll see when I finish talking to y'all about it.
Kendrick's verse of Nostalgia. Oh my gosh, what a verse.
That is one of the best verses I've ever heard in a rap song.
Just, whew.
You want to see your dead body?
Yeah,
the reason why that was a Pulitzer Prize. That's all I got to say about that.
That verse is 10 out of 10. Top tier. However, let's get into Odyssey's Belong to the World.
This is probably one of my most favorite rap songs of all time, personally speaking.
Really?
Easily.
Ah, that's good news. Again, beating the beat to your advantage. He's riding the beat, but there's personality to that ride. It's distinctive. He's not using the generic end rhyming scheme. He switches it up, albeit sometimes unnecessarily. It picks back up. It makes perfect sense a line or two later. That's what I really liked about it. I said he's getting this shit off. No main storyline like the last song, but there's subject matter and he spits within those confines. That's called substance, Ducky.
Never heard of her.
We're taking the kids to school this episode, boys.
Period.
That being said, 8 out of 10. I have no reason why I would say anything bad about the song other than it doesn't fit that mainstream norm anymore. It's a bit too positive. But you could definitely put folks onto the song and certain people will play it when no one's around, at least. And that's not a slight.
Yeah.
That's not a slight, Ducky.
I know, but like I hear that and it's like I already know what you mean when you say it.
I understand, but hear me out. Slave for You is my favorite Britney Spears song. Sure, the main reason is because the Neptunes produced it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say I love that song.
City boys, city boys.
But I'm not playing Slave for You in front of the homies. Even some of my homegirls might look at me funny.
It's that real Susio shit.
Exactly. Ask me how I know about that song, and I grew up with them. Quick pop side note: NSYNC is better. End of discussion.
I have a dog in that fight. I ain't got a dog in that fight.
I need to put that argument to bed. Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's the ultimate Uchiwali or one mic amongst all white people. I swear to God.
Look, and I'm a part of that, to be honest.
It's your birthright. Literally, it's your birthright. So I won't even get in the middle of that. If I may though, I have to just like tell people like the third verse because it is like it's why it matters to me so much.
Go for it.
So in verse 3, man says, let's see. I might probably do the whole thing. I will. I fucking I will. It's like verse 3 is what's a clique, what's a crew, what's a gang to a brother to who's been doing this thing all along. I belong to my name. It's the only set I claim. I'm not bothered by the politics of fame. I perform, they put on. That's the norm. Trying to get me on a song like baller this, shooter that. Then they got the wrong mic. This the wrong platform. They're about the wrong life. This is for the people that I'm trying to cut a path forward, trying to make some music for the future that will last long. Though they never ask for, I'm going to give it to them. Pioneering tunes, and forever I'm going to live through them. Words of Bob Marley, he put memories and melodies. It's relevant in the present, though he made it in the 70s. That right there is telling me the classic was the classic. That right there was telling me the classic where it better be. And if it ain't, then it don't deserve to represent the pedigree. Part of the solution or part of the problem, all the moving parts in the process revolving. What are you involved in? Answering my calling. I belong to the world. And I think about my own like heritage spiritually, being raised by a pastor, like having a very just like very strict like religious like parentage, and like belonging to the world is a huge no. But I think to myself, I'm a citizen of the planet. You know what I'm saying? I live on planet Earth with all the rest of the human beings, and like I have a responsibility to represent myself in the best possible way. And like when we choose names to identify ourselves, like centrist, conservative, liberal, progressive, anarchist, socialist. Like it's a bunch of word salad at that point. It's like, cause what do you really stand for? Like when I see you move in these streets, what are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? And like when the pandemic started, when like the swath of just like protests began, it's like I know in my heart I'm not going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, God rest my father's soul, but like when he saw a protest happening in Philly, he called my phone, like, I don't want to see you out there. And like, we didn't agree always on political things. When I made my Twitter name Abolish the Police, he found fault in that. And I'm not going to hold that against him. And not just because he's gone. He's from a different generation. He was raised in a different place in a different time. You know what I'm saying? But because it's like, okay, since I'm not going to be protesting, since I'm not sending emails, since I'm not sending letters, since I'm not knocking on doors, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm going to stay in my lane. I still have to clock into work every day. You know what I'm saying? But like
Exactly.
I can talk to my friends. I have quite a few acquaintances who don't like see the world the way that I do. But if they trust me and love me, they'll hear me out. They'll see why I see the world the way that I do. And they can decide from there whether they still want to be involved with me or not. That is the least I can do. With just like with music and with just like everything else. Cause it's all connected at the end of the day. But it's
Yeah.
like I belong to the world, cause like people who don't know me in other countries are going to see me. They're going to see an American. They're going to see a black man. And how am I going to represent myself as a part of that group is very fucking important to me. You know what I mean?
That part.
You know,
Yeah.
I see like I see my younger brothers at my job, and it's like I have to protect them. I'm no fucking superhero or like a role model, but it's like, yo, like I know that like the big homies who looked out for me when I was their age, they're always in here. And like I want them to know that like even if I don't understand them or see the world from their vantage point, I want you to know that like they can respect me and they can trust me. You know what I'm saying? It's because they're like there's this one clip on Twitter like during the height of the panorama that made me cry, and like I can't watch it anymore. But just two old heads were arguing during like during a George Floyd protest, and they couldn't see eye to eye about how we were going to move forward as a people in spite of the murder. And one of them's like, "Fuck this." What we're arguing about doesn't fucking matter if it doesn't include him. And he grabs like this youngster, and he's just like, "Bro, I got a kid who's younger than you at my house, and your generation has to find a way to like to get us through this because we don't have anything left to give you." And like he's grabbing the kid, he's crying, but he's mad, he's frustrated, and that shit keeps me up every night. It's like and there's nothing new under the sun, obviously, but like
Right.
we got to keep trying shit. I don't want to give up. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't, bro. Like I want to like get old as shit and be like, man, we did some wild ass shit when I was coming up, bro. Like we tried things like, And the things that'll work, we'll still see 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've been doing things for a while, for so long, and that shit's finally starting to like wear thin. So we gotta try something new. And the same can be said for like society and for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I wanted to get that off my chest before we moved on. Anything else?
Yeah. Nah, you hit it on the head.
Okay.
So
I don't want to like come off too contrived, but like this is like for years, like I was just like when because like, you know me, I'm a fucking weirdo, and so like for a long time, it was hard for me to like make the connection to like this mainstream black shit. But it's like, bro, you're black. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you'll figure it out. And it's like if you love black folks, you don't have to like the same shit at all. I'm just like, I need to know about it all. I at least need to know what's happening so I'm not confused. Because it's like, it's one thing if you don't get it and you make it weird. It's like, you don't have to fucking get it. But just
At
like,
the end of the day, black is a spectrum. Like you can be on one end of the
you're not a
spectrum,
monolith.
or you can be on, the other end of the spectrum. But at the end of the day, there are certain matters that are concerns of the entire spectrum as opposed to one side of the spectrum. And so when have, take me for example, that is into wrestling and sports and so on and so forth, and you is in the anime and like different many genre of music. It, we seem different, but
Not
there's
really.
so much that relates to us, that we relate to, and it's not just being black. So it's like I wish every part of the spectrum would at least have a respect for the other parts of the spectrum and other things other than just our lives mattering.
Yeah, it's like, because like you could lie. You could totally just like say that shit and not mean it.
Yeah,
And I have no type of time for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cool, but what else? Like when you know when
exactly.
Holmes like, what else? When he's like rapping to himself, like, what else? My boy.
It's a legitimate question.
Straight up.
With that being said, this segue is about to be hilarious because
Oh
our next
man, oh
song.
man. Oh man. How can we break down just like just the parable of the white rapper? The parable of the white rapper.
Well,
Which
I
one do
do
you
want to
pick?
discuss that once
Yeah,
I finish
we
this
have to
out.
really get into like the annuals of this shit. But like, how did you feel about the one that I selected?
All right, so this song is called "Dentures" by this dude Token, in which
What a
my
fucking
first
name.
comment was Token, huh? Way to lean into the gimmick.
Yeah.
My next comment was, I feel like, well, you have to come from a certain area to be a good white rapper. I feel like,
Period.
otherwise, you sound like a poser. Like I might be on to something
1000%.
here. Like Houston, Texas, hell yeah, fuck yeah. You can't go wrong with Houston. You
You
just
love
can't.
Paul Wall.
Exactly. Detroit, Michigan, sure, that's a historic rapper hotbed.
For sure.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sure, why not?
Sure. Rest in
The
peace,
Mid
Mac. We
Atlantic
love
has
Mac.
been making noise for some time now. But
Yes.
that Mid Atlantic begins at New York and ends in the Carolinas. Below that begins the South, and above that is Boston. Which brings me to my point: Salem, Massachusetts, witch hunts raps. Witch hunt raps. Witch hunt raps. I'm a scarlet letter. I'll scarlet letter this song in general.
No
I
comment.
appreciate the few white rappers that do and did develop their own style. Paul Wall, Mac Miller, Logic too. He counts. That's the Octoroon homie. I hate these dudes that try so hard to be Eminem though, and it's like Yellow Wolf is Southern Fried Eminem, and where is he these days? Hell,
Man,
Eminem is
getting
himself
sneak
Southern.
dissed by Royce the 5'9", apparently.
You said what?
I saw, you know, the Colors YouTube channel?
No.
Um, I believe they're like a YouTube channel based in Germany. An artist will come out, they'll say, yo, we've picked this color for you. And like, so there's one mic in the room, the artist is wearing like the color they've selected, and they'll play a song, whether they're performing or they're rapping. And Royce was on Colors, and he was there to promote. I think he was there to promote a new record, and he started off saying like, "Yellow, if you're on thin ice," and I'm like, I wasn't aware there was smoke. What happened? And like he just went in, did his 5'9" shit, and he stepped off, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't really follow up on it, but I'm pretty sure it was recent. If I had to speculate,
I never knew that there was beef, but
shows you how like how out of the loop I am. You know what I mean?
hey, I'm about as out of the loop as you are on that note. But my point is, hell, Eminem tried to help him, and well, where is
He
he
did what he
now?
could. He did what he could.
Exactly. With that being said, 1 out of 10. Holy fuck, this song is nothing but a bunch of fucking rhymey Instagram selfie quotes back to back. I couldn't even fucking finish the song. It was so awful. Fuck.
That's worse than worse. Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I got to like maybe 2 minutes in and was like, nah, man, I can't do this shit anymore, man. This shit's awful. It sounded like some.
Ooh, awful.
It really does sound like somebody trying to rap like Eminem, but not any of his
Man,
like earlier work. All of this shit after Encore, pretty much.
I was recently on like a in a what's it called, a Twitter space with a friend. Shout out to Vina, shout out to Subtle Smile. And like I was telling her that like, yo, the cutoff for Eminem for me is 2018. After that, like it's all questionable. I think 2018 is where like the well truly ran dry. Somewhere between after Kamikaze and after like basically like burying like MGK's career is when he just like entered like the old head portion of his career, where like he's just primarily just hanging out like the Shady Records office or the Shade 45 office or in his random pop-up Mom Spaghetti John over in Detroit.
It's earlier for me.
And honestly, yeah, like you could probably even say like back when Relapse came out, he was like Dunzo for sure, for sure.
The last Eminem song that I actually liked that was like actually Eminem's song was Encore, the joint with Dr. Dre.
That isn't that like a greatest release album?
I believe so. However, Encore was a like bonus track or like a you
Damn,
know how when they do
2004.
greatest hits, they'll throw in like a couple of tracks they never released that are like just brand
Yeah.
new.
Oh,
Encore
curtains down.
was the brand new track, and it was with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent, and that joint, bump. And then there was one joint from
Oh, I've heard this song before.
yeah, and there was
It
one
was on the
joint
radio every day.
the re-up called "You Don't Know." It was Trick, and I want to say Royce the 5'9", but I may be wrong.
Sure.
But that joint went. Oh, Lloyd Banks was in that joint as well. He
Damn.
had a fucking verse. Matter of fact, Lloyd Banks finally achieved his childhood dream. He has a song with Method Man, and that joint cranks.
It's good. Is it new?
Yeah, it's off his new album, Cursing the Inevitable 3. It's called 101 Razors. And I don't know if you've realized, but Method Man hasn't cursed in his raps in years.
Interesting.
That's a personal challenge to himself.
Interesting.
So like if you hear him like cursing, that's like his older work, like I want to say around after anything after 421 the day after.
Well, all I have to say to that is Will Smith, eat your fucking hat.
Oh yeah, uh, buddy. So some songs that Will Smith put out surfaced recently, and it made me go, yuck. I tell you what, you remember Switch?
Yes, I do.
They call that shit fake ass shake and tail feather music.
It is,
I
cuz
said
it
that is
is.
correct.
It's painful.
Look, man.
You're washed up when your son's like illegitimately a better rapper than you are.
Oh yeah, easily. Icon living.
Song's actually hard.
Without a doubt.
And hey, I want to say something on the record. On the record, um so Logic flipped that beat and rapped over it and did a great job on the beat. I think on Young Sinatra 3, he put up the song Iconic, and like Jaden's like in the middle of the song, just like doing like his Jaden shit. I feel like Logic really rapped his ass off on that song. Sincerely. It's like the one song of his, I'm like, wow, like he really did his shit on that song, man. What the hell?
This is a safe place, right?
Yeah.
That new Logic album is actually good.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Hold on, because he's dropped twice recently. Which one are we talking about?
Wait, he dropped twice?
He dropped because let me double check. I'm still on Genius. Let me double check the more recent releases, because hold on just
Yeah,
a
nah,
second here. You talking about College Park?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, but he has an upcoming release coming out. Is what I've been told.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, he and C. Rock Castro are working on a project together.
Him and Castro working on something. I'm glad that they're back together again. That's what's up.
Hey man, don't call the
I was
comeback.
I was busting Castro's ass in basketball class, but he'll never talk about it.
You heard it here first.
um, nah, Castro's my fucking guy. But yeah, College Park is actually a pretty good album. He has one of the like I want to say it's the penultimate song of the album as like a 6-7 minute track, in which it's like an evolutionary track where
Wow.
you got the form that he had around under not under pressure Young Broken Infamous,
Yeah.
and it moves into the no pressure type of flow that he the under pressure type of flow that he had. Then it goes into like his other albums and so on and so forth, and it just progresses on, and it literally shows you his growth as an artist and as a rapper. And so after he gets to his current phase, the fucking rigor mortis beat throws on,
I love the rigor mortis beat so
and he
much.
destroys that jump. So he like after he destroys the rigor mortis beat, it slows down, and the narrators evolve like as they go along with the storyline for the out for College Park the album. And as the narrators go along about the storyline, you get the robotic narrator from Under Pressure. You get
Oh.
the space cadet on The Incredible True Story, so on and so forth. I absolutely love that track.
All right, let's do it then. The fact of the matter is, Logic has outlived the bad press of his entire career, because I can't comment on his work prior to Under Pressure. Even though we all grew up in the same town together, I never knew who he was. My
Well,
sister was briefly acquainted to dude because I know they went to Gaithersburg High School at the same time, but I never met dude ever.
I
And
was
when
supposed to have bio class. It was supposed to be me, him, and Castro in bio class in the 11th grade, and he was just
wow,
never in class. Meanwhile,
wow,
Castro was. But I first met Logic uh summer of 2010. He was over
jeez,
he was over a homegirl of mine, Dahlia's house. And we just sat and chopped it up about, music, sports, wrestling. Like
usual.
he cool people. He really cool people. And so like ever since then I've just been paying attention to his work. And it's like every like other album, every other project that he put out, he just progressively got better and better and better. And at this point in his career, he's completely owned up to, the gimmick of being a nerd, a mixed kid, and so on and so forth. He's like comfortable in that skin now. And that kind of makes me proud of him. It's like I've always been talking shit about that shit all these years, and at this point, he like comfortably owns up to it because like at this point, he's his own man for the most part, and I think that's dope.
He truly is like the American dream manifested. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to school, right? And for most of us, it didn't fucking work out.
Right?
And followed his dream and made his dream come true. Became a full-time fucking rapper. Goes to the other side of the country. Sets up shop. Got married a couple times. Started a family. Still rapping. You know,
Yeah,
some cats don't get to have the comeback that Logic has had. And that's why I say like he's outgrown like the bad press. Because what were folks saying when Under Pressure came out? Oh, he raps like he's Kendrick. He raps like he's Drake. He raps like he's Cole. And like here we are in 2023. Drake is a has-been, arguably.
yep.
Kendrick is effectively retired. And now J.
Eh,
Cole is the and now J. Cole's the head coach of his own label at this point. Still sword as sharp as ever, but like he's not chasing the same things that he was when his first album came out. You
In
know what I'm
theory,
saying?
Cole never was chasing anything. Cole was like the wandering samurai
I
of
agree
the
with you
hip
there.
hop
You said this to
community.
me before, and I completely agree with you. And his own journey to superstardom is very inspiring. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, I'm just saying that, like, Logic has nuance. There's a full body of work, and dude's not even 40 fucking years old yet. He's doing things that, like, the gods of when we were young, Hove, Ye, Tip, like Big Boy, even they didn't have they didn't have the options that a Logic has.
yeah.
And I can only hope that like his competitors and peers, like a JID, who we'll talk about next, like a Curry, like who's that dude who dates the tennis star? Um
Oh, Corday,
a Corday.
I
Like
like him.
this is now like here's how far you can take it if things go really well. You know what I'm saying? Like we might as well move on to like the to like we can talk about like the perils of a white rapper another time when it's not when it's more important. Like right now, let's talk about because I recently
Yeah,
so
now fuck that. Hold on, because
fuck.
well, now we kind of like dipped our toes into it, but I just want to end it on this note. The fact of the matter that every white rapper that tries to take that Eminem route always tries to take the Eminem rallying the troops route, and that shit always annoys me. Has anyone ever heard 8 Mile? Like the song 8 Mile?
Honestly, I've never heard that song in my life.
That might be my favorite Eminem song, hands down, man down.
Wow.
And it's not, it ain't really much either, for real, for real, for real. He's basically telling you the like plot to 8 Mile. He's rapping the plot to 8 Mile in a 6 minute track. But in that 6 minute track where he's giving you the plot to 8 Mile in rhyme, he's destroying that shit.
LA, what's up, boy?
I'm telling you, LA knows. Like that song goes. That's easily my favorite Eminem song because he just puts on a clinic for 6 minutes straight. And once you realize at the end of the song that the beat ends and you're like, wait a minute, that was just the plot to 8 Mile. he cons you with bars, dog. Like, and
The spark
that's the
notes.
Eminem that I like.
Sure. Okay.
But everybody want to take the hype and fast rapping Eminem, and it's like, yo, that's not the Eminem black people like, to be honest. Like the Eminem that black
I like the shit
people
on
fuck
Infinite
with.
personally.
Well, we didn't know Eminem until Slim Shady LP. We had to go back to Infinite,
Sure.
but Infinite
I didn't
classic.
know until middle school. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, me too. So it's like,
Okay.
even then, we were like, all right, this is a crazy white boy, but this crazy white boy can rap his ass off. So we excused the craziness of this white boy and his shock value because the raps were raps.
Raps for rapping.
The raps were rapping. And that's what most motherfuckers don't understand, especially kids that are, of the younger generation that are trying to take the same road because they heard an Eminem song from Recovery. You know what I'm saying?
I remember the recovery days.
I don't want to remember the Recovery days. So
I agree with you.
yeah, so I just hate that, like, they try to take that template and try to get bars off on that because the shit is just corny. Like it delivering cadence is more important than people realize.
Yeah, and I'll give it to you because I mentioned I have a show now with my friend Scott, and we talked about Sleep Token, which was one of the artists we talked about on episode 0 for us. And I mentioned how I was talking to them. I'm like, yo, like when I first played Alkaline for Los, he thought it was hilarious, and I wasn't expecting that. And so when you hear like Dentures by Token, and like like your guards up immediately, and I'm happy for that because it's like this shit is no joke to me. Like, what are you actually fucking saying for real, for real?
Exactly. I need
That shit is very
substance.
important.
And that's what my problem is with like music these days. It's like for one reason or another, there's always something missing that completely ruins what could possibly be a good song. And you get to the point where it's like, all right, man, like y'all are doing this for a cash grab now. Like y'all aren't really like being artists. Like y'all are taking the word artist and hiding behind it for the most part because you're making music, so it's considered, art is considered some form of creativity. When I'm going to go ahead and push back against that and say that you have to be some type of creative in order to display some creativity when you have all these kids essentially sounding alike because they all use the Migos flow. They're all using the
The
Migos
Migos
flow.
flow.
They're using the Omnis Chief Keef sound, or they're using these synths that like all sound alike for some odd reason. One beat sounds similar to another usually, and then you have motherfuckers just like in auto tune. What are we doing at that point? It's not creativity because y'all are doing the same shit everybody else is doing. So, is it art? And that's my point. Or you have a motherfucker that can spit their asses off, right? And you still with me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still
All
here.
right, cool. Because I was taking a quick
Extracurriculars. Yep.
extracurriculars.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And so, or you have a mug that actually can rhyme, but they just have like terrible beat selection. And it's like I can't get 100% mad at those rappers for real because they can
It's not
spit.
easy.
They can spit. You just gotta give them something dope to spit on, and they're just not finding the right shit. Nas has a career of that, and that's why Nas is having a resurgence of a career because he actually found somebody that can give him a good beat selection and Hit Boy. You know what I mean? Or you just have somebody that tries to play into a gimmick and the gimmick just doesn't work. Whether they're not, you know, fully into the gimmick or they don't, that gimmick is not true to their lives and they're perpetuating something. There's a lot of perpetuation in hip hop. Let's make no mistake. Like we need to understand that the music is, well, it was entertainment until I was actually started trying to live their raps all the time. That's why we get all this hip hop violence. But really, it's entertainment. Yeah, they're talking about shooting and all that other stuff. But back in the day, aside from the occasional Biggie and Pac or um fucking damn, I can't even think of another instance like that. Biggie and Pac might have been probably the only instance that's of memory of that time. There wasn't any real violence going on in between rap beefs other than the Source Awards. And that's
Yeah.
my point. Like it's just a bunch of folk, a bunch of minds trying to live out their raps, and it used to be an entertainment purpose because these rappers, it was the understanding that these rappers were talking about what they used to do, not what they currently do. That's where the kids get it fucked up.
Well, all right. Um, I just think about like how again, same video essay. Host is talking about just like what happens when our culture gets a Post Malone. What happens when our culture gets a Jack Harlow? And my first immediate thought is like, who are the cosigns? Cosigns are everything. And
Yep.
like as entertaining as I may have found like the Gentures record by Token, I don't know who his cosigns are. He can get into a studio with Rico Nasty. He can get into a studio with JID. But who put him there? I want to like know who the associated artists that will like put their
Their
what's it called,
name.
the reputation on the line. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, oh yeah, like this guy's solid. He's not a weirdo or anything like that. And again, like Boston, Massachusetts, I don't know anyone prominent from Boston besides that one hilarious comedian who has the HBO Max show.
Sam J.
Sam J. Hilarious.
Loved her in Bust Down.
Seen that one yet?
Mm.
That's the TV show, right?
Yeah, it's on Peacock. We're
Okay,
not
good.
getting a second season because Jack Knight passed away. But
Oh, that's right. Oh my Christ, I completely forgot about that.
that's
Yo, rest in
another
peace,
reason to
Jack Knight.
watch
Rest
that
in
show.
peace, Teddy Ray, man.
Also, yo, now that I mention it, that show is starred by Sam J,
Yeah,
Jack Knight,
yeah.
Chris Red, if you've seen Keenan Show,
I'm pretty sure I have.
or that show on Netflix, Disjointed.
Chris Red. I know
You've seen
Chris
him
Red.
around.
I've seen Chris Red all over the place. He's hilarious.
Yes. And Langston Kerman.
Hold on. I know Langston Kerman.
You sure do.
Bruh.
Yeah. And then on top of that, their boss in the show,
Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs.
That's right. That's right.
And he steals the show every scene he's in.
Then listen, there's something to be said about a rapper who's so funny. Like if it weren't for like, because say what you will about 21 Savage, just say what the fuck you will. That man is funny as shit.
Here's the thing, right? Once the rappers like drop down the hard persona, all of them are funny as shit
Not no,
because
let,
all
let,
of them have wild stories from their previous lives.
no. I'm gonna
So
say something. I'm gonna say something real crazy right now. The new kings of hip hop comedy, in my mind, are 2 Chains, Freddie Gibbs,
yeah.
21 Savage, and Vince Staples. And I know
Oh,
Vince doesn't like being called funny. I know he actually gets on his nerves, but like I can't
nah.
help it. Every time I hear him
Nah, that
talk,
that that
I have
that
to tune
that's something
in.
that's gotta take, dog, because that
He's
motherfucker is hilarious. Even
hilarious.
when he's not trying to be hilarious, it's just like how he delivers things. It's just funny as shit because he's so serious.
Straight up,
It's one
man.
of those type of deals.
It's like Vince Staples and 21 Savage could be on like a black letter Kenny. You know what I'm saying?
Easily. So
It's just like the perfect kind of dry.
yeah, Vince got that like dry humor. It's straightforward. It's to the point. He be serious. We take him seriously, but it's still hilarious. Yeah.
Like like it makes so much sense why Vince Staples is like a Odd Future affiliate in my mind, because we know Tyler the Creator, he loves to laugh.
Sure.
We know Earl is a funny dude. We know Frank is a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? All those folks were jokesters, so of course like Vince would like be a consistent just collaborator and friend of theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which I wouldn't mind that at all. But like I said, there are a lot of rappers out there that are just outright hilarious because, like, again, they drop that hard persona a little bit, and they actually try to joke around a little bit, but they still got that like hard persona sort of. So it just comes off as hard, but like they'll tell you a story. The shit's funny. So
And it's
like
why Griselda works
I
so well,
personally
because we know that shit is fucking hilarious.
exactly.
Boom, 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 boom.
Also of note. So, however, let's go ahead and bring this on home because I'm at 20% battery. And
Fuck. Okay, I'm a rush because late last year, I'm listening to the Rap Caviar podcast, and on that specific episode, they're talking about the big three. I mentioned them earlier: Drake, K. Dot, Cole. And they're like, who's the next big three? Do we even still need one? And for me personally, at the time, this was like in late December, I say it's Vince, Curry, and JID. For me, I feel like it's the best intersection of like brothers who can ribbity rap, but have but new school guys who are more popular than them all like them. Because you can't tell me that like a Vince, Curry, and Jid can't hang with like the little babies, the Gunners, and who
well,
else you might think of.
my concern is that there isn't going to be a big three like that ever again because of the
Agreed.
direction that hip hop is going. And with that being said, it's like again, Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, all mainstream in their own right. Drake the most mainstream.
The most mainstream. Point
And
blank
they
period.
all can rap their fucking asses off because they were students of the game from a long time ago.
This is very true.
We no longer have any of those. No, kids don't fuck with history. So now after Drake, Cole, and Kendrick is going to be a clean slate, and the new kings of hip hop aren't going to be based on bars. It's going to be based on what sounds cooler, and these kids are going to consider it bars.
I would argue that like selling out shows matters more, but as we've seen with Travis Scott, that necessarily is not a good thing either.
Nope. The kid again. The kids got it wrong. Got everything wrong as far as like music criteria goes, and that's why I'd be so cranky about it because they're all they care about is what they can get famous off making TikTok dances to. these days. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Like none of this shit is fucking making sense 100% anymore because they're using terms and phrases that the kids use these days that barely make sense in itself. Yeah, it's slang for the generation. It has definitions sometimes, but when they use it in music, it doesn't translate into anything. It just sounds like an Instagram caption. And that's all these kids want. The music isn't the feel anymore for real. Or if it's the feel, it's a artificial type of feeling. Like a feeling that you as a person in this society are supposed to feel like. It's nothing genuine. There's no soul in it.
The record. Let's before I can say some other bullshit, but let's focus
Yeah,
on the record.
we
We're
can go
running out
on
of
about
time.
that. But yeah, let's get to JID and Denzel Curry's bruh.
Bruh.
Because look, I said finally a bit of class in this episode.
Oh God.
And these are rappers I actually know about.
Yeah.
And so my next comment was Dragonfly Jones said on Jenkins and Jones podcast that JID is like a Southern fried Kendrick Lamar, which
100%.
bingo.
100%.
That's the perfect definition. I said, Denzel Curry is a different shark. You never know when he's going to switch his flow. You never know when he's going to connect the rhyme or switch the scheme. You know, however, that he finds a way to destroy a feature. I admire the hell out of that.
Seriously, man, that boy can rap. Damn.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, nah. You might have officially put me on to Denzel Curry. Like I was in and out on him, but like I might got delve. But that being said, a full 10. Yeah, Ducky.
Wow.
I didn't want to tell you this. I didn't want to tell you this because I haven't gotten any all series. But I already listen to this song at least once a day.
Yo, fun flex, drop a bomb.
This beat is a fun cranker. It's not hype and speed, but hype and energy. You can do a lot of activities that may or may not regularly contradict each other. Like you could clean a house while on the strongest indica to this song. That's balance right there.
Yeah. Listen,
I said JID be spitting, Curry be going in, and it's a pristine combo for this kind of song in particular. Yeah, nah, A+ banger to old Haystack. Way to bring this leg of the series home, Mighty Malik.
Bro, like, listen again. The immortal words of Funkmaster Fleck. Listen, this what you niggas call bars. You don't know nothing about that.
Motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that. For truth. For Truthendorf out in Dusseldorf.
Holy fuck.
Like that's a songy. But that's what hurts a little bit because there are still, students of the game that are
Coast Contra.
That are of the younger generation. Like they still know their shit and they still spit like they know their shit. It's just slowly becoming more underground and less mainstream.
Someone like a true dislike. We need the gods and the old heads have to come to a decision where we're like, we must bridge the gap. Someone has to bridge, and it can't permanently be done because we're human fucking beings. You know what I'm saying? We're humans gonna human, no matter fucking what. But there needs to be a concentrated effort within the culture in Black entertainment to say, no, they have to hear this. If this is something that if they want to do this for the rest of their lives, it's like you know what, for me it's like new school rappers need to have shit that's undeniable. I was telling one of my lady friends about how I didn't like it how Lil Baby was featured in the Grammys this year as a celebration of hip hop, across the board, all 50 plus years, because the song that he chose killed the mood of the salute and it wasn't like a song of his that everybody knows. And I'm like,
Yep.
does Lil Baby have this? Does Lil Baby have a song that everybody fucking knows? And I would argue no. But I re-listened back to one of his like earlier hits, "Drip Too Hard." It was him and Gunna, and I'm like, oh, I actually do like this beat, and like I know what Lil Baby's gonna do if like he gets like a chance to really show his skill. Because the yes indeed Lil Baby, get the fuck out of here. That shit doesn't age well at all. But like recently, when because I never heard like his feature for Drake on Scary Hours 1. But I'm like, man, like if he gets a chance to really like just do his thing, he will rap. Even though he has
Yeah.
only one flow, he knows what he does, and that's why he keeps getting fucking paid. So it's like someone has to bridge the gap. Someone who really like it's I hate to say it, but like the only person who I see actively working to bridge the gap between new school rappers across the board, across all subgenres, is Nardwar. He's the only one that I know who loves all the rappers. And
Yeah.
if he hasn't talked to you yet, it's because you're not fucking ready, or because he doesn't see what you're going to do. Because most of the time when he
Well, he's
hollers at
probably
you,
doing his research on you.
no, because exactly, he's just waiting and watching for the chance to say you're doing a great job. People need to know what you're doing, and I'm always listening. And not on some like weird sketchy shit. It's like I love music, therefore I want everyone to hear about what you're doing. He's talked to everyone. He's even talked to fucking Slipknot, bro. Back way back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the shit that like, okay, but like see, that's what inspires me to keep getting on this mic and be like, okay, but like if people hear your shit and be like, who is this person really? They're gonna want to like see you talk to someone, to a regular person, or to some weirdo like, you know, like Uncle Nard, you know what I'm saying? Who's gonna like really just like do his homework and tell you about yourself. And
yeah,
that's why we're here. It's like if you're out there and you love this shit, maybe you should make a slight detour on your journey, and you'll make memories you'll always remember. I'm like this journey of mine of like 365 songs in 3 days is killing me. It's so much. It's not even work for real, but it's like I come home after a long 10-hour day and it's like, fuck, I have to post to social media tonight. You maybe get like a 15-second clip and I'm done. Period. You know what I mean? And it's like if I have something to say, I want it to take up the whole 3 minutes of the allotted time for a post, because I don't want to waste y'all's time if you're going to listen to me like blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's like, I heard it here. You should go follow up on it because it fucked with me. So if you want it to fuck with you, it'll be worth like the 3 to 5 minutes it takes to check out a new song and shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, 365. You gotta create a playlist before you start that shit. I feel like
I have.
But he said I have.
today is day 113.
Damn,
like
bro.
I literally got home from the New Year's party and I started cranking on that shit. And I'm like, even if I don't, because I fucked up at least 3 times, but every day that I fucked up, I just post 2 songs in the playlist, and it's like this one, that one. Sorry, I was fucking tired, or you know what I mean? I was like,
Right. Life
I'm a regular
man.
person. I'm
We
not like
understand.
I am no influencer by any stretch of the imagination. I was literally 2 days ago, not to make it weird or like dark, but you know how we did like the K-pop episode. This one idol, his name was Moonbin, and he died. He was 25 years old. His manager found him at his crib, and we don't know how he passed. But like when like the news when like the news hit the global theater, like people were already drawing comparisons to previous idols who died young, and for the most part, it's like that's inappropriate. We can't just like presume to think that all of like these tragedies are similar. And
Right.
I'm just like, one, no one should die before they're 30. First of
No.
all.
Honestly.
Two, so like the idea of celebrity either needs to come to a complete end, point blank period, or we need to have a serious fucking conversation. Because I'm like, I understand being a public figure. Obviously, that's going to take place if you live in a small town, right? Or like you're in movies or some shit. It's like people know who you are when they see your face. You're a public figure. But to like be a celebrity is like that shit needs to stop. I'm sorry. Or just even being an influencer, right? One of my
Fandom.
favorite musicians right now, like she was on a podcast and like the host, like, you made it out here. And she's like, nah, I haven't made it yet. And she's like, why do you feel like you haven't made it? And she's like, for me personally, when I know I can, she was like, for me, the day I don't have to post my body on Instagram to like get a bag is the day I know I've made it. And she didn't say that to like shame other folks who do like, post like their features to like, pay the rent and shit. It's like, oh, when I don't have to, I know that like I've done my job. I can chill. Cause
Exactly.
and I get it. It's like you're in your late to early, your late 20s to early 30s. And we know how these thirsty people be online. And it's like, I might as well pay my my car note if that's what's going on out here. But one of these days, I'm not gonna want to do that anymore. Or like
Right.
tour for 2/3 of the year in a band or like in like a boy band and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Because I'm just like, like people like, fans lost one of their favorite stars, a family lost their child, friends lost their friends. Oh shit, 5%.
10%. 10%.
Oh my fucking god! Like,
I'll
see
go
where
bring,
see where it goes, cuz.
I'll bring it
Listen,
home.
dog.
I'll bring things home by saying this, right? It, the fact of the matter is that we, as regular people, need to stop obsessing over famous people. It's really that simple. Because these famous people are just normal people that are in the spotlight now,
Make a little
and
more cheddar than we do. That's about it.
they want to live regular ass lives too. They just
I want
have
that
a
for them.
job that is a job that entertains the rest of the masses, and we should just treat them as we would treat your neighbor. And there are a lot of people that obsess over these celebrities that have high expectations for these celebrities, and it's like, yo, y'all need to chill with that shit. And especially the entitlement of being a like paying customer to see this entertainer entertain, and they get to do and say whatever the fuck they want. It's like, no, you can't do that either. Like, stop being a piece of shit and show some respect, show some
Do your
grace
job,
to these
go
people.
home.
Exactly. They just try and go home like the rest of us after they go to work. And that's what they doing. Work. They love to work, but it's work.
I dream of a life where I don't have to work anymore. You know what I mean? Like if I'm clocking in, I realize that when I see my customers, that I'm basically serving myself. It's like I would want the same service that I provide to the people who come to the store. You know what I mean? It's like I
Bingo.
go home because like sometimes the contractors they see me out in the street. It's like there go that boy from Lowe's. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
like they know they remember me, and it's like I want to remember them too because like I respect what they do. They're doing work that I could never do. So it's
Yep.
like you come in here, you're a king to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you in, get you out of here. Boom, done. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So with that in
Let's
mind, we just got an hour and a half. Lotus Phone's about to die. This is the end of season 1, if you will. Episode 5 of Haystack Hates Your Music will be 4 more different genres than before. Haystack will decide the order of operations for episodes. I guess like 6, 7, 8, 9, and then like I guess 10 will just be like, oh, what have we learned? What have we enjoyed? What have we hated? What have we hated most of all? I guess it is almost 5:15 EST. April 23rd, 2023 is 2323. Shout out Dr. Pepper. As per usual, when you look at yourself in the mirror, whether you're like, like brushing your teeth, doing a nice shave, like giving yourself a haircut, look yourself square in the motherfucking eye and say, hey, I love you. Say I love you to yourself. If you can't do it, I understand. Please know that I and good old Los, we love you in the most like platonic and supportive way possible. We don't disagree. We don't agree about music all the time. We don't always agree about politics. We don't always agree about religion. Love never fucking fails, at least in my humble opinion. Secondly, if you live in the crib, go in any old place, wear a mask. over your nose, under your mouth. Otherwise, it doesn't work. For your own sake, for the sake of the elders, for the sake of the children, for the sake of the immunocompromised. It ain't over till it's over, cuz I ain't trying to get sick. Thirdly, happy birthday, Frost. I love you, boy. And fourthly, drink water. Stay hydrated. It's getting warm out here, and I ain't trying to pass out. Los, anything you want to add before we get out of here?
I'm at 7% battery. Let's get on out of here, bud.
Thank you. Good night. Goodbye. We appreciate you. We'll see you in May. This is Haystack HHYM Music. We out of here. End this motherfucking broadcast. Woo!